Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, please like and subscribe. It really helps. So in this video, we're going to be making this beautiful style on the screen. It's a straight cut with two-step ruffle at the down part and a two-piece collar at the upper part. So let's get down to it. Here I have my fabric fold for back and front. The difference is the zip allowance at this part, right? Half of my shoulder plus half an inch, and I'm starting my measurement from this is the front one, which is 8 inches. The length of the gown is going to be 40.5. Then I'm going to be minusing 6 inches for the ruffle. So what I'm having here is 35.5, 34.5 plus half an inch to join it at this down part and half an inch at this upper part. So that's 35.5. So now I will measure half an inch up here. This will become my guideline. This is the 8 inches and this is it here too. So I'll connect this point this way. Then I'll come this way like this. This will be my chest line. Then from this point now, this guideline here, I'm going to come down for my waist 16 inches. For my hip 25 inches. And the remaining one is the length. Then at this my chest line, I'm going to measure my bust circumference divided by 4, which is 9.5, which is here. Then I will add 1.5 inches seam allowance, or let's make it 2 inches. Then at my waist circumference divided by 4 is 7.5, which is here. Then I'll add 2 inches seam allowance. I'm not going to add that to this dress. Then my hip circumference divided by 4 is 10.5, which is here. Then I will add 2 inches seam allowance. Then what I have here, I'm going to remove 1.5 inches. So the total of what I have here is 12.5. minus 1.5 plus 11 inches, right? So I'll mark it here. This is the 11 inches. So I'm going to connect all the points. Now, at this area, I'm going to be marking my neck width, and I'm going to be using 2.6, right? My neck width, which is there. Then for the neck depth for the front, I'm going to be using 3 inches. Then for the back, I'm going to be using 1 inch. Then I'll connect. Then for slope, I'm going to be using 1 inch for the slope. And I'll connect this way. Then I'll go up half an inch for shoulder seam, and I'll connect this way. So after coming down for the slope of 1 inch, what I have here is 6.5. So I'm going to make that 7 inches, which is here. So this will become my chest line, right? Then I will divide this by 2, which is 3.5. Then I'll come in 0.75. Then I'll connect this point to this point to this point. So now I'll be cutting this out. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about So I'll notch this.
These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun.
So now I'm just going to remove this. Then I'll cut this my zip seam open. My zip seam allowance is 1.5, right? So I'm just going to cut it open.
Once we keep close, we should never let go. So tell me who you love, baby.
At this waist here, I'm just going to remove half an inch.
Yourself with the world, baby.
And I'll cut this part out. So I'll place the right side facing shoulder this way. Remember our notches. This one should meet here, and the hip on too should meet. Then I'm going to go back to my sewing machine now and sew this shoulder with my half-inch seam allowance. Then I'm also going to sew this side with my 2 inches seam allowance that I added, right? So here is it now. I've already sew it at the side here. Sew it at the side. I also sew it at the shoulder as well. So I did something here. I just give it a little touch, like adding pocket on it. So I'll just make a normal shape pocket this way. Then I added some gathers, right? Then I place it 1.5 inches below my waistline. This is my waistline. So that's what I did here. So now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to measure this round, the hem part. I'm going to measure it all round and get the ruffle for it. So here I have 39. So I'm going to times this 39 now by 2. So 39 times 2 by the first length we want is 6 inches. I will add 2 inches to it to hem it at the down part. So that 2 inches, that's 8 inches. The second length will be 4 inches. I'll add 2 inches, which is 6 inches. One will be 6 inches by length, and the second one will be 8 inches by length. But the both of them will be 39 times 2. 39 times 2 width. So I'm going to cut that. And here is it. I've already cut it, right? Here is it. Then I've already hemmed the down part of this, right? So it's 2 that is here now. This is 1, this is 2, and I've joined there at this part. So now if you measure it this way, the first one here I have 4.5 inches because I need half an inch to join it at the upper part, right? Then the second one I have 6.5 inches. I will need half an inch to join it at the upper part, right? And I've also hemmed it at this down part, and the width is times 2 of the hemline, right? It's times 2 of this hemline. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to my sewing machine now. I'm going to make a little pleat, right? You can even do gathers. You can do times 3 so that you have enough room, right? So I will take it this way. This is the right side of my fabric. This is the right side of this. So I'll start it from this hemline like this. Then I'll make a little pleat this way. I'm making a little pleat this way. Make a little pleat this way and sew it, right? That's what I'm going to do. So this is it now. I've pinned it. So I'll go back to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew this with half an inch. So this is it. I've already sewed it, right? I've already sewed the pleat on it. So I'm going to go straight to cut the collar now. I will measure my neck. I'll measure the neck here, and what he gave me was 18 inches, right? So this 18 inches, I did not add the zip allowance to it, so I stop it here, right? This is my zip allowance. So from here, which is the other side of the zip allowance, so this other side of the zip allowance is 18 inches. Then my zip allowance here, I have 1.25, right? 1.25. So that's what I'm going to use to cut the collar. Now I will drop this on my brown paper first before transferring it to my fabric. So remember, the the main neckline is 18 inches, right? Then the zip allowance on both sides is 1.5, 1.25, right? 1.25, 1.25, that is 2.5 total. So now together now will be 20, together will be 20.5. Then the main collar will be 18 inches. So now let's start. So for the collar stand, I'm going to be using the width of 20.5 inches. Then I'll be using 2 inches for the length. So, and I will cut two of it.
If you found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about
Then I'll cut for the main collar.
these days.
I'm going to divide this 18 inches by 2, which is 9 inches. Then I'll add 1 plus 1, which is 10. So that the width will be 10 inches. Then by 4 inches.
Memory lane isn't that too far away from our hearts, yeah, yeah. The ones we keep close, we should never let go. So tell
On this side, I'm going to come in 0.75, 0.75.
realign yourself with the world, baby.
Then I'll connect it here, connect it here. So I'll be cutting 4 of this. I'll cutting 4 of this one. Then I'll be cutting 2 of this. So here is it. I've already cut it on my fabric now. So I cut 2 of this, right? I cut 2 of this and I cut 4 of this. So now I'm going to remove this. So I'll be placing them right side face each other this way. And I'm going to sew it with half an inch this way, like this, half an inch. I'll leave this part open. I'll sew it with half an inch, turn it out and give it a good press. Then I'll come back to show you. So here is it now. I've already turned it, right? I've seen and turned it. So I'm going to remove this pin. I've also notched the center of this. I'm going to place them. This is the right side. I'm going to place it this way. Right side face each other. Then I'm going to sew it with half an inch. So I'll sew it with half an inch. After which I'll place this one too on it this way. Then I'm going to sew this one too this way with half an inch. Then top stitch on one side. So here is it now. I've already sew it and top stitch on one side. So this is the side that top stitch on. So this is how it's going to be. Alright. So this is how it's going to be at the end. So the next thing to do now, I'm going to pick up my dress. Then this is the right side now, so I'll allow the right side to touch it. So this is the side that top stitch on. So this will be my right side now, and this is the center of my dress, right, for the front part. And this is the center of the collar. So I'll allow this center now to meet, and I'm going to sew it all round to my zip allowance. I'll also sew this one too to my zip allowance. Then I'll flip it over. Then use this one to close it, right? I'm going to use half an inch to sew it on, and I'll do that now. So here is it. I've already fit the collar now, and I've gone ahead to fit my zip as well. So this is what we have now. Looking so beautiful, guys. This is what we have from the pocket to the collar. This is how the collar came out. So the next thing to do now, I'm going to
I think it's the
fit
way
my
life changes when in
sleeve,
love, yeah. I surround
tuck
my
the two
soul with
sleeves
the
together.
positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Memory lane isn't that too far away from our hearts, yeah, yeah. The ones we keep close, we should never let go. So
Then I
tell
will
me
attach
what
this to my
love
sleeve,
is.
the armor,
Take a
right?
moment to
Attach it. I'll do the same thing for this thing, then fit my sleeve. So guys, we have come to the end of this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you find it helpful. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in my next one. Bye.